Hello, hello. I am back streaming. My mute buttons aren't working. It's always good. Um, yeah, okay. We'll be streaming Stanley Parable today. Waiting for things to kick in on Discord. But yeah, I've booted up the game. It's took us up to like a language thing. Should be able to hear me moving my mouse over it. I'll click on English for subtitles. And yeah, I have played the Stanley Parable before. Um, but I do want to like be able to do all the old content because it's been a few years since I played. These are just a slider until the computer is barely visible. Just leave it in the middle. It'll be fun. Uh, um. Oh wait, did it already? No. It's it's, it's about that. Accessibility sensitivity access from the main menu. Yeah. Don't remember that from the old games. Streamed up tonight. For 90. Presentation. That's cool. That's also cool. I think if I click out, it's not true borderless. So it says it's in borderless, but when I click out, it's like tabbing me. It's closing the window, minimizing it. What? But even putting it to Windows not doing anything. What's the deal with this? And the resolution doesn't change. Okay, something's happening. It's not true. True borderless. What's going on? Windowed. Give me windowed. We'll launch borderless windowed because oh my god, stop. Okay. Borderless gaming. Or maybe what have I done? I've messed up the resolution now. Okay. Borderless. Can we full screen? Normal full screen? Can we? This isn't, it's got like squares and shit. Borders. I can't change this. My god. Oh, okay. I think that works. Okay. Let's begin. The end is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, end is loading.
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
He was
And then
happy.
one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
I can't click on it? Okay, there we go. Wonder if anything happens if I keep clicking on this. I know there's like some like little... Every time I press E, it's making that. Oh, I didn't mean to close that. It's locked.
But Stanley simply couldn't handle the pressure. What
Oops.
if he had to make a decision? What if a crucial outcome fell under his responsibility? He had never been trained for that. No. This couldn't go any way except badly. The thing to do now, Stanley thought to himself, is to wait. Nothing will hurt me. Nothing will break me. In here I can be happy forever. I will be happy. Stanley waited. Hours passed, then days. Had years gone by? He no longer had the ability to tell. But the one thing he knew for sure, beyond any doubt, was that if he waited long enough, the answers would come.
Surely.
Eventually, someday, they would arrive. Soon, very soon now, this will end. He will be spoken to. He will be told what to do. Now it's just a little bit closer. Now it's even closer. Here it comes.
Okay, that's probably the easiest ending to get, I guess. Just close the door and stay in your closet.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go. Oh, please. Are you really just doing this for the achievement? Click a door 5 times. Is that all that you think an achievement is worth? No. I can't just give these merits away for such little effort. A measly 5 clicks. Now suppose you were to click the door 20 times. I would say that's the kind of effort that warrants recognition.
Okay. I didn't know about this achievement. I just thought I'd try it.
I have to say I'm still not feeling the satisfaction of witnessing true effort for a noble cause. Perhaps 50 clicks will do it. Yes, almost certainly 50 clicks.
Yeah, sure, 50.
No, I'm still not feeling it. I want this achievement to have meant something. It has to be a true reward for valiant effort. I want to see some hustle, Stanley. I want to see commitment, a willingness to go all the way, no matter what the cost. Why don't you go put 20 clicks into door number 417?
417. Sorry if you can hear a dog. This one. How many was it? 40? Or something?
Oh, great. Now, go click a few times on door 437.
37. I think that was back here. These are 2s. Oh, wait, no.
Excellent. I think we're getting somewhere. Now, door 415. Let's give it 10 clicks or so.
415.
Now, back to door number 437.
Getting our exercise. I think the puppy's excited.
Let's see. How about you click on, well, I don't know, the copy machine?
Copy machine?
All right, back to room 417. I'm really feeling it now. I think we're getting somewhere.
Okay, you think we're close to you having some satisfaction to give me an achievement?
Okay, now go climb on employee 419's desk. Yes! This is great! You're putting it all on the line, Stanley. I like that. All right, let's keep it up. Go give me a few clicks on door 416.
Okay, that... yeah.
We've almost got it! Now the copy machine, do that one again!
My God. It's excitement.
Finish it off, Stanley! 5 clicks on door 430! Yes! We did it! Oh, wow. That felt amazing. Oh, you really earned it, Stanley. Nothing could hold you back. Yes, I'm very proud of how far we've come today. Just think, only a few minutes ago you believed an achievement was worth 5 little clicks. Really now, what were you thinking?
Alright. I got an achievement for that, by the way. There's 2 achievements. I got an achievement for clicking door for 35 times and an achievement for getting my first achievement. It's a pretty nice achievement.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Let's go.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a co-worker? A ball up inside you, take it out passive-aggressively on other co-workers. Using co-workers. I've had that happen to me. Profits. Actually pretty fun to read some of these. Number of slides in this slide. Slides, charts and slides. Yeah. We've got Ella.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We've got Ella there too. I want to just sort of do the most obvious paths first, just because I've not played it for a while. And then we'll explore some of the seemingly new stuff like these extra doors I can suddenly open.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
I was wondering why I was going to curse across tennis because I'm near this. 999?
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845.
5, 4, 8, 2?
2845.
3, 5, 1, 9? 2, 0, 7, 5? 4,
Forgot, but
8,
it turns out that the panel's emergency
2,
override kicked in, and the door
7.
just opened all by itself. And
Oh.
Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Love that. One second. 2 seconds. Trying to figure something out. I didn't realize that you could hear my system sounds. I shall disable that. Great. Bhutan. This looks so much cooler than I remember. Yeah, if anyone watches this on YouTube or whatever.
Descending deeper into the
Ario.
building, Stanley realized
Ari
he
was
felt a bit
messaging me
peculiar.
in Discord.
It was a stirring
I
of
haven't used my
emotion in
chat
his chest, as though he felt more
just to
free
annoy
to
me.
think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Sparks.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yep. Definitely didn't go for the escape path.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
I got an achievement saying you can't jump. So press space a bunch.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed.
Fired?
Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
What's up with
nothing.
the blue text up there?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No, he refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
So dark. It's all disabled. We need to press this button? No? I guess we go to the power room. That makes sense.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Yes.
blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
Og?
He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
It's a really nice view.
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Achievement beaten again. So yeah, that was Stanley Parable. Finished. Definitely not like 30 odd other endings or something to do. Yeah.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think I know another ending. Or another ending that used to be in this. You have to get up onto the desk door like this, and then you can just...
At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map, until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be? Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
No.
Ah, then in that case we'll continue. But now, here comes the real question. What do you think would have happened if you had told me that you wanted this to stop? Do you think it would have been particularly different? Would I have taken the same idea but rephrased it superficially to fit that answer? Perhaps you never would even have thought of it if I hadn't brought up the issue in the first place. Oh, now think about it. Will it be worth it for you to restart and then come back here just to do the other option? Clearly, this whole gag takes some time. What if the other option is even longer? How long will you spend in total just to have heard all the narration? Oh, and this is rich. Perhaps you've just played the other option, and now you've come to see what happens in this one. So, what do you think? Which choice was the better one? Imagine if you had selected continue on your first playthrough, how tantalizing it would be not knowing what happens when you pick the other option. Indeed, you are one of the lucky ones. Though if the other option is really miserable to listen to, then perhaps you're not. In fact, I'm just going to say that no one who's listening to this is lucky. Well now, I've built up the other option so much that I'm going to stop talking and leave you to your decision whether to come back here, continue with the game, or just sit in this spot forever and ever. Cheers.
Is that it? What if I press no again? Okay. Ooh. Is this just like a small room? Okay. What if I press yes? No? You're gonna make me restart? I'm gonna go back there and try out the yes. I want to see if
All of
anything
his
is actually different.
co-workers were gone.
Now,
What
now
could
that
it
you made a
mean?
point of it.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. At first, Stanley assumed he'd broken the map until he heard this narration and realized it was part of the game's design all along. He then praised the game for its insightful and witty commentary into the nature of video game structure and its examination of structural narrative tropes. So, now that you're here, what do you think? Isn't this a fun and unique place to be?
Indeed.
Why don't we take a minute just to drink it all in? Okay, I'm over it now. What do you think? Are you sick of this gag yet?
Yes, I am.
Well, I don't know how to say this politely, but you could literally just hit escape and restart the game any old time you want, like right now. You could have done it just then. Now would also be an appropriate time to quit. Any of these points and so many, many more, all of them are appropriate. I'm enjoying what seems to be an internal conflict going on where you are literally unable to act on your own desires to restart the game. So, just to push the envelope, I'm going to try and make this as miserable as possible and see how long you can maintain. There once was a man named Stanley, who people considered so manly. But the truth must be told, he was not very old and was quite particularly gangly. What Stanley liked most was buttons. He pushed them like some kind of glutton. He did it all day in a meaningful way, but his brain had long ceased to function. Which is why he is in this parable and lives an existence quite terrible. And if you are not strong and keep playing along, you too will become quite unbearable. Yes. You too will become quite unbearable.
That's a good song. Is he gonna just repeat it? Okay, it's just the instrumental. Should I just try to wait it out? Should I restart? Ara, if you're there, what do you think? Should I restart or should I try to wait him out a bit longer? I'm just moving around the room, seeing if there's any spaces. Crouch. Stopped? So weird that the only thing to orientate myself is like these windows. So that's me clicking. I think he might be winning this. I think we'll just restart. I think he won that one.
Hi, Stanley. Just wanted to leave you a message to let you know there's a few things I need you to pick up on your way home from work today. We need milk, cereal, dish soap, spaghetti, get a thing of sugar, some bread, and coffee beans, whichever ones you like. I'll give you a call if there's anything I forgot. Thanks, sweetie. See you tonight.
Okay. I guess that was Stanley's wife. I noticed something coming out of the store. It didn't narrate, it didn't give us the extra bit of narration, and the door stayed open. I think it just leads to the same ending. However, the phone was also ringing.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's sick left. I kind of want to, for the most part, I want to work backwards from our decisions. So I want to go back up to the power buttons and turn them
Yet there
on
was not
rather
a
than
single
off.
person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk, pulling books off the shelf, looking behind paintings, desperate for clues to his situation. But his attention was caught by a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could its purpose be? In fact, this keypad guarded the terrible secret that lay buried below his feet. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number, 2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
I think they just cut out a lot of the narration, just to make things a bit quicker to redo.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Indeed, he did.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yes.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible... Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Control.
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are said to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going. What all this means. I barely know where to start.
Oh, yellow?
What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated.
Oh, yellow?
All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to
1,
them.
2.
I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free.
Of
course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Oh.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp.
Grim.
I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you,
Continue.
it's quite rich.
Orange 71. Active button hint. Orange 71.
Sure whatever
the fuck
I
does
come
that
up
mean?
with on the next go around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the...
Was that incorrect?
These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be pressing here.
Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Purple?
These numbered
Purple
buttons.
too?
No, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is?
I'm sure it can be beaten.
Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment.
What's this?
But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine.
Confused.
To destroy it first.
By employee. 427. No.
Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
There's a way to end this. I just don't know where it is.
Pretty sure. Go peacefully. Another choice. Make it count. don't. It's all the same to me, all a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
I'm sure there's a way to beat that with the buttons and stuff. But yeah. Anyway, I need the toilet, so I'm gonna BRB. Yeah, I'll be back. I'm back. It's only 2 seconds though. Okay, back. Yeah, the other thing was, not the other thing. Sorry. The thing I found. Okay, so I went to the toilet. I did a quick Google, just because I don't want to waste too much time.
Were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go
Supposedly,
to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
supposedly you can't think. That's what kind of happened. Supposedly you, Bryn. Supposedly you can't stop the bomb from exploding. So yeah. There's new content. I'll just ignore that for now. I wanna do the rest with normal stuff. This feels different. I suppose you can't disable the bomb. It's just sort of a joke.
When Stanley came to a
No,
set of
like
two
you
open
could.
doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office. The moment he entered his manager's office, Stanley froze in his tracks. Not a living soul anywhere. Could he really be all alone?
8. Is that right?
This was too much for Stanley to take. Too much for any man to take. He fell to his knees, bursting into half moans, half sobs, the guttural retching of life from a man denied any hope, any reason to keep going. Here on the floor, he lay prone, paralyzed by fear for nearly a full hour. But when at last he began to move about and survey the situation, he found a keypad behind the boss's desk. What could it mean? Was it a sign of hope for Stanley's future? Alas, it was not. For although this keypad guarded the terrible secret of Stanley's past, it had been assigned a 4-digit code so devious and so random that no man could ever hope to guess it. 2845. Statistically, nearly impossible to guess blindly, ever.
845.
Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
It's kind of creepy. So dark.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
I believe there may be an ending here too.
Aha! You've made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. Welcome! You see, back when the Stanley Parable first launched in 2013, getting to the bottom of the mind control facility was a bug that we simply didn't catch during development. And you all sent us lots of photos of it on Twitter and acted very superior about it. And you're all very, very clever. Good for you. Anyway, when it came time to update the game, we knew that we had to do something about this little goof of ours, so here you go. New content. You can call it the bottom of the mind control room ending, if that enhances your perception of the value of these updates. Isn't that what you crave? New content? Always more content, more content, more. And I'm here to give it to you. I'm here to make it seem like we really covered every nook and cranny of the game with secrets and Easter eggs. How about this? We wrote a new piece of music just for this section. You won't hear it anywhere else in the game. It's a secret that's just for you. That's how special you are. We call this track, Good Job You've Made It to the Bottom of the Mind Control Facility. Well done.
Good job, you did it. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Good job, you made it to the bottom of the mind control facility. You jumped on the catwalk. You should have been careful. You should have been careful. It used to be a bug, but now it's an ending. Now it's an ending. I believe in you. I believe in your ability to cross this barrier and chase your dreams. Railings don't mean anything. Good job, you did it. 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 Good job, you did it.
That's a good song. Some good music in this game.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Trying to keep an eye out for the computer with the passcode thing on it. No, we don't want new content yet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Want to go down the escape path? No. Oh, there's something weird.
Yet
Those
there was
doors.
not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Is it 2845? Password.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean, he wondered? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk. That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music. Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
I feel like there should be something behind. Wait, hang up behind here. Wait. There's nothing here, that's just a wall, I think. Maybe? Kinda creepy. Let me...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
No.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
If I turn around and go through this...
But of course, Stanley thought better of it and realized he simply had too much to live for. Nope, still on board with death?
No narration for going back in, back out? No?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Oh. Shit. Oh. This one? I remember this.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
So mean.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly. And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created
This is
for you
the
long
museum
in
ending.
advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
This is kind of
Do you
cool,
see
actually.
now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
This is pretty cool ending because you guys see like some like little level design stuff, game design stuff. Like the office layout. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. Apart from Stanley's office at the two doors, is the first part of the game that was built. Sections have been added and altered throughout development, though the core layout remains almost identical to the first iteration. You had this in the previous games, so I wonder if they've added anything else to the museum. It's pretty cool. The office. I'm not sure. Those are cool. Office computers. Okay, so we've got the credits here. Models, design, original artwork, music, voice work, and all that. Three voice actors for additional voice work. Wonder what else is voiced in this. The narrator. Office administrator. Oh, it must be their office administrator. Based on work at Stanley Parable 2013 team. Cool. The boss's office. Oh, that's not creepy at all. Kevin Brighting,
Stanley pushed the orange lever.
Kevin Brighting, the voice of the narrator,
Where
Got it.
were all of his co-workers?
recorded dialogue for the entire game roughly three separate times over
Party for him for all his button pushing. Does that sound plausible to you?
2 years of development. He used clips from early takes that were not used in the final game, except they were. What's up with the chairs?
When Stanley came to the lift, he travelled upward to the power source.
That's cool. Freedom and we've done that one. Down desk. It's nice to explore. Oh, there's an actual. That's interesting. So I wonder if on the escape ending, you have to I wonder if they have a special menu for that, just to show that that's what you have to do. Zenden. Oh, I don't know what the Zenden is, but that's cool. Zenden model. Dank. Oh, it's trailers. Neat. Meeting room. These like variations on maintenance. Fusion ending. The flow of hallways following the first two doors would point to your right. I know what this is. I'm supposed to replay them so many times. Yeah. Cool. It's kind of cool. God, this museum is so big. Warzone? And Battlefield fighting aliens. It'd be cool if they added something like that in. This one, Ultra Deluxe announcements? Wait, they announced this like 4 years ago? Holy shit. I didn't realize this game had been announced 4 years ago, the Ultra Deluxe edition. Then we're back down here. It's pretty insane. That's like 4 years of new content. What's this? Narrator emails. After the second trailer we sent out, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found a perfect use for them. Here are a selection of these emails. What would you do if Stanley entered any other rooms? Let's go with Max Ernst to Salvador Dali. How surreal will this game be? Were you born with magnificent voice, or did you back a magician receive it? And there was a question of, oh, okay, not enough time to read it. Okay. Some scam emails they got. Ooh. Stanley's office. Left to right, Evolution Stanley's office first created in 2011, second in 2013, third in 2013. 2012, 2013. I was gonna say Andy all the same, but no, there's some minor differences. That's cool. I think we've seen everything. Let's go through the exit.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game.
Wait, it says quit to menu, not quit.
Forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let...
Squish. I need to get another drink. So that'll be 2 seconds to grab the drink. And just do something. Great. I am back. Sorry about the lack of music. 2 moments. Right. Let's continue. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley
Could it
decided to go to the meeting room.
mean?
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I don't know why, but that room on the other side looks a bit weird to me.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So what else is there to do? We went through the escape thing. So before the escape thing, there's the rooms around the boss's room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
So instead of going there, we have that door there, and we have this here. Go up. It's a very shaky elevator. Is it a narrator? Woman? Am I imagining it? Am I crazy? It's definitely coming. How's this elevator going? I mean, the song's changing, so that's just leave it, I guess. It's a jamming song. Hang on a second. Did we go anywhere? It says Stanley. I was wondering what he was whispering when he wasn't like scatting. I don't think this goes anywhere. I think this is just a music room. Okay. What about this room? Was this executive bathroom? Because the boss knows that what the boss says goes. If the boss has suffered losses, that's what the bosses chose. Alright, some interesting graffiti. Can we do anything in here? Can we use the toilet? This is just memes. There's the other book thing. Okay, I think there's nothing else to do
Okay,
here.
I think we all know the drill by now. Blah, blah, blah. Dark secrets, the keypad. Stanley pushes some buttons. Oh, hey, look, it's a new passageway. Quelle surprise.
Well, surprise. I tried to press the up button, but it didn't have it.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Yeah, let's go through this.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Yes, he's already found out about 3 times.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing. This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly? No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof, the heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another.
Try pressing
human
on
life.
again.
For
See if anything
would
else
dismantle
happens.
the control. Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you? After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control?
Troll!
Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave. If you want to throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you
No, things are going wrong.
think
Yeah.
you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say 2 minutes.
2 minutes.
Ah, now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me, where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone. Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have
Did I
to say
close that
this,
door?
though,
Was that door
this
open?
version of events has
Wait.
been gruesome. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich.
Wait.
I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even
Open that
better.
door again, please.
My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much.
I don't know what I did to
You know
close it. I
what?
don't know if
To
it's
hell with it.
just
I'm
like
going to put some
meme
extra
or
time on the clock. Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley.
I don't know if it's a meme that it was open or if it actually did something.
Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now? Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room. These numbered buttons, no, these colored ones. Or maybe this big red button, or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me. Why would you think that, Stanley? That
I wouldn't
this
think
video
that.
game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any idea what your purpose in this place is? But you really believe there's an answer? How many times will you replay this bit, looking desperately for a solution? 10? 100? 1,000? I look forward to finding out and to watching the bomb go off each time you fail. Just you and me and the retching explosion of fire and metal over and over and over for all of eternity. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. And Stanley died again. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Music's jamming.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever after.
Yes, I guess there's no way to really escape that ending. I think the door was a bit of a bait and it just shuts when you get close to it. But hey, at least by doing that again we managed to click on the extra computer. Ooh, the phone again.
Good morning. Thank you for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation. We are confirming your shipment of 1,327 cardboard boxes to your place of work. Can you verify that this is correct? Excellent. Your order will arrive shortly. Thank you again for contacting the Future Happiness Foundation.
Yeah. A lot of cardboard boxes.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I feel like doing the broom closet now. The broom,
Yet there was not a
broom
single
closet
person
one's
here
pretty
either.
wacky.
Feeling a wave of disbelief,
Can I just sit in here?
Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
I probably can't just sit in here, can I? Nah. One second. Okay.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Nah. I'm gonna stay here. It's cozy.
There was nothing here. No choice to make, no path to follow, just an empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
It's cozy. That's a reason enough, right?
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the broom closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
We fuck all.
Are you
I'm
really still in the
starting
broom
ascendant
closet?
now.
Standing around doing nothing? Why? Please offer me some explanation here. I'm genuinely confused. You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friends you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favourite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
Is that a British accent? Oh, mate, did you get the broom closet ending?
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid.
Oh.
He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
So mean.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard. Well, in a situation like this, the responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. They have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species. Please remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, When you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
Is that it? Or is he trying to trick me out? I think that might be it. We have 5 seconds.
Ah, second player. It's good to have you
Aw.
on board. I guarantee you can't do any worse than the person who came before you. You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand the controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Oh, may have exhausted this a bit. I thought this was an ending, but I think I'm thinking of a different ending. Yeah, I think I'm thinking of a different ending. It's a nice little detour though. The broom closet.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Nah.
But Stanley just couldn't do it.
This ending
He
though.
considered the possibility of facing his boss.
This is a good
admitting
ending.
he had left his post during work hours. He might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay. Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black. This is the story of a woman named Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day, the very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
What an existential ending. Hey. Okay, I don't want to do that right now because
All of his
our
co-workers were
box
gone.
order arrived
What could it mean?
of 1,000
Stanley
of
decided
boxes.
to go to the meeting room.
Um,
Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yeah. Our box order. Yeah. Wonder if anyone needs any boxes.
When Stanley came to a
So I'm not
set
sure
of
there's any
two
more
open
content
drawers,
left.
he
At
entered
least
the
that
door on
I
his
know
left.
about. So we should go right.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring.
Indeed.
It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
Is there an ending for sitting here? Something I wonder.
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Muck says who farted on it. Number one mum, number one
At
dad.
this point, Stanley's
saw
obsession
you.
with this room bordered on creepy and reflected poorly on his overall personality. It's possible that this is why everyone left.
So mean. Fuel mug.
Stanley sat around waiting for more dialogue, but when a long time had passed and there was no more, he decided that the game was trying to send him a message.
It's me every time that happens. But what if? What if the game just wanted to push us to see if we would wait? Coffee nut. Can I just stay here? I should probably go. Let's go.
But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Or did I?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here it's, left.
I just press this again? No.
Oh, no. No, it's to the right. My mistake. No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh, dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh no, we're lost.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now. This story is absolutely, definitely this way.
You sure? Oh.
No. This isn't
We're
right
here.
at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes.
We've been here before. It's fine.
Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
No, passcode's gone. Okay, I've got to find the passcode button.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I hope it's not back in the boss's secretary's room.
When Stanley... Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Let's go left. And left. You should always go left when you're lost. Stick to your left wall. You know, I wonder if the people who like made the back rooms meme maybe past the Stanley Parable and just thought
This
it's
is
like
the
this.
worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not? All of his co-workers were gone. What could it
What
mean?
could it mean?
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed
Maybe
a
it's
memo.
a memo. Could it mean? Oh,
Okay, yep, it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything? Aha! I knew we'd missed something.
It's different.
The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps. Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
Oh, we're
Well,
boxing.
do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some
did.
people win fair and square, and
pressed
this was
W a
not
lot.
one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is.
Yeah, it's
I
pretty
don't
weird.
care what might happen this time. I have to restart. All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable
Adventure line.
Just follow the line. How simple is that?
9TM. It's got a trademark. This is it's taking us somewhere.
You see, the line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination,
It's
even
true.
if there's no story there?
Yeah.
Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me. Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay. Now, if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office, in fact, the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood. Cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley,
Nice fern.
this fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I think I got a good look.
Wait, what? We're back at the office?
Um,
No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
oh,
Oh,
back here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it. Restart.
Thanks for following. The Solaris X.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting,
You should.
daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
437.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again.
Guess I don't need to
Stanley,
come up with a
I'd
story.
also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story.
The line's
No
cool.
lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
We've noticed like a lot of TMs in the subtitles. I think it's whenever he refers to the
We
line.
get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Oh. Confusion ending.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Been on this
really
ending
how all
for
this
almost
goes?
18 minutes.
It's all determined? So now, according to the schedule, I restart again. Then what?
Restart.
Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't
on.
want to forget? My mind goes
Don't go
blank
repeat it,
simply because it's written
deteriorate
here on
into-
this,
sorry,
this
here.
thing.
So it's all longer
Wall.
simply black space.
Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say
For a long
in all
time,
of this?
Stanley dies. That's
If
kind of a
then-
sad ending.
No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't
Oh,
want
but
the game
both
to keep
does,
restarting. I don't want to
Lydia,
forget what's
I
going
guess.
on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
Alright. I think we are out of the confusion ending. Let's press this. Welcome, Stanley, to heaven. There's buttons. Are you gonna press them all? Oh no, they come back. You can't press them all. But maybe I can press them fast enough that I can catch up to the line. Okay, you kind of can, but I end up missing them a bunch. Does this end on its own eventually? Is this down to me to restart? I think this is down to me to restart. Cool. I guess that was Stanley's heaven. And we can go back there.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
I think there's something for turning off a bunch of computers. Anyway, let's go
Stanley
let's go
came to a
right
set
and
of
then
two
go
open
through
doors.
the
This was not
left
the
door this
correct
time.
way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow.
Best room.
Yes.
Amazing.
This room. What a beautiful room. What
gorgeous room.
Eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
He did not. Whoa.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
We jump from the cargo lift while it is in motion will cause death. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift, $1,000. Penalty for jumping off the cargo lift, $5,000. Oh, that's cool.
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What could it be?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Always.
The lounge was sublime, a work of art.
True that.
What was it about this room that called so deeply and so personally to Stanley? Its grace? Its subtle charm? No. Stanley knew it was something deeper. Something darker.
You wanna elaborate on that?
Yes.
No.
Really,
Okay.
really worth it being here in the room.
He's gonna
But
keep
eager to
himself.
get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself. To put your work aside. To let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this. To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha.
How creepy
Oh,
all.
come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley, I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Yeah, I want to see what's
Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Oh, oh, all right.
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Press Z on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence. Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him.
It's really sad.
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
In town with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
At dinner?
As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Game with a baby? A kid's story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time. But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one. And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Am I going to be stuck here forever until I press it? Look, right, I've only got a short attention span. I can't wait here for too long.
You see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Question nothing.
I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Alright, dark ended. Right.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Beep. No new content yet.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood
The
true happiness.
Indeed.
Then the feeling went away, and he felt sad again.
Oh.
Then it came back, and lingered for a minute or two. Now it's only half there. Just a kind of, tingle. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
No. Fucked.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please. What? Really? In the middle of something, do you have zero consideration for others? Are you
Yes.
that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you?
Yes,
Why,
because we just
I
did
don't
that
know
last
how
time.
to convince you
You'd
of
be
this,
one.
but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
Okay, let's go blue. Don't trust him.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
No.
I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked through the red door. All right, fine. Go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go.
Oh.
Third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin.
It's really tempting to use one of the other doors. Oh.
Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
I'll give it a 4.
Okay, so we're getting somewhere. Clearly there's something here that speaks to you. If I can be honest here, I really don't have any idea where I'm going with this. This whole third door thing was just a stab in the dark. But I guess you're into it, so let's keep this party train rolling. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
Oh.
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
The intro sequence. Whereas 3% of players chose the blue door. Excuse me? 99% more attractive than Stanley. Also, you to get to the correct door, compete against others to improve your Stanley parable career. Ooh. Oh, I'm the bottom of the leaderboard. Excuse me, my friends list is not empty. Let's we'll go through. Oh. It does like pushing me out when I click on it. What? Is this meant to happen? What's going on? Oh, I'm stuck. I think this must be meant to, that must be meant to happen. Oh. Someone's made a mess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Is there anything left to do through there? I don't think so. Depends if that ending can go a bit differently. The one that we just did. I think there's something. I think there is something.
Stanley
to
came
do.
to a set of 2 open
I'm not
doors.
sure what.
He entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Trying to
just
say
admire
ending,
it.
but we'll cooperate a bit more.
Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? Could a man love a room?
Indeed.
I mean, truly, truly, deeply, madly love. Yes, really, really worth. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Could also do this. Let's do this.
And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Wait, can I go back? No.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, nothing. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Alright, I'm gonna go to the toilet. I'm gonna pee in this room. BRB. Alright, I'm back. 2 seconds. Right. I'm thinking. I'm thinking that I will. I'm thinking that I will. There's a guide on the Steam guide, so I want to double check that to try and find all the endings I can get, basically. Um. Yeah. Oh. Okay, so that ending that we just did, where we got trapped, that's actually a bug apparently.
Coming to a staircase,
Okay, hang
Stanley
on.
walked upstairs to his boss's office.
We'll check the upstairs see if there's anything different. If there isn't, I'll do a restart and we'll try to do that ending again. Apparently it's a bug and it is a workaround. So, because apparently there's a lot more to that ending that we didn't get to see because game froze. Oh, that's neat.
Here's the door. Just go.
Okay, I'm gonna begin the game again. We'll try to do that ending. Apparently you have to delete a file or something. I think there might be some other variations on that ending too. Yeah. Okay. So there's a file you need to delete. You need to find and delete it. I wonder if the game will be happy with me finding it and deleting it while it's running. Let's have a go. See what it does. See if has a bit of a scream about it. Blah blah blah. Go over here, read this. Stanley Carable Deluxe, blah blah blah. Yeah, file. Streaming assets. Video. Oh, there's a lot of videos. Deleting the leaderboard video. Video. Okay, I deleted a video. The game hasn't crashed. So it must be fine, that's good. Alright.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
So we have to go right at the choice and then drop off the elevator.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic.
Never too
like
majestic.
a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please.
Lost.
Really?
Yes,
I was
really.
in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I should also see what happens if you walk through the red door, to be honest. Yeah, I'm curious. Let's see.
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you. What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes. Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel
Weird.
happy. I actually feel happy.
What's going on with the blue lights? Oh. This is a bit wacky. Green arms now? Okay, I think I'm okay.
No, wait. Where are you going? Right. Where were we?
He just wants to look at like the weird stars and glowy stuff.
Oh no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing.
Oh. Guess this is one way to restart the game.
No!
Oh.
Oh, thank God you lived. You had me worried there for a moment. Now, can we please get back to the other room?
Let's go back to the other room. I am walking a bit slower. Ooh, it's red orbs now.
There. See? This is what you want. This is where we can both be happy. We really can. If we stop moving, we just have to stop moving.
Alright. But I don't want to do that. I want to play. I want to move. I don't want to look at the glowy orbs rising up into the sky with the stars and shit.
Stanley, go back. There's nothing good that can come from this.
This is also
No.
kind of a dark ending.
No, what are you doing? Do you just not believe me? What can I say to convince you?
The narrator's happy and the Stanley's just like, yeah, fuck you, I want out.
Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You were literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly? maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. I just wanted us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all.
I mean,
Well,
guy has
this one
tortured
is
us a couple
yours.
times. I don't think he just wanted to just get along. Yeet.
Is it over?
That's dark.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Okay, so blue door 3 times is what we need to do.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire
Who
it.
doesn't? It's an amazing room.
And here it was.
The lounge.
What a room, Stanley thought to himself. What a room, what a room, what a room. This is what Stanley thought. What a
room.
What a room, what a room. What a room. Va-va-voom. What a room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
What a room.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong...
Blue doors 3 times. I deleted the
I'm
video,
not your enemy, really, I'm not.
so we should be
I
fine.
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Definitely feel the blue
I
door.
still don't think we're communicating properly. All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay,
So
I'm going
good.
to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would
Definitely
you say
5
that
out
the
of
game
5.
benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here.
It's kind of funny because all the choices probably lead you to this one room.
Aha! You see, I knew I was onto something. Where do these flashes of inspiration come from? How did I know the game needed a third door? Well, it's instinct mostly, a calling in your gut. I really couldn't say where the idea came from, except that I felt it in my soul. You can't teach that, Stanley. Don't even try. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look.
So, the file deleted was the leaderboard there. Apparently, that leaderboard file is causing a bug that stops you from being able to get into the next part.
Now, Would
Weird.
you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
Hmm. If- yeah, it did. No, sorry, it
Hey,
was
I nearly
5.
forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect. Let me boot it up. In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience.
Ready for 4 hours of this, by the way? So I don't have 4 hours, to be honest. I'm sorry, baby. I'm sorry.
You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable. Oh, hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
I'm just going to pause after the loading screen. So, apparently, if you do the baby game for 4 hours, there is an ending to that. I'm not going to go back and do that for 4 hours because that sounds like a horrible experience. But I can probably Google it. Stanley horrible baby ending. Now we'll just watch it on YouTube. I want to do display capture. You can see this now. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it. You should be able to hear it now. Let's do this one. Seems like there's a lot more to this game as you go on.
Art itself is about to burrow into your skull. Aren't you excited for spiritual immortality? For transcendence and oneness with the beauty and essence of all beings? Just a few seconds now.
You can't even stand there and just press the button. You've got to actually move between button to button for 4 hours. Interesting ending. Okay, so that was the baby ending. Yeah, it definitely wasn't gonna do that for 4 hours. Just give me 2 moments. I'm being asked what the game is that's like this, but it's got to do with perspective, and I've totally forgotten it myself. I want to say something with a P. I don't think that's right. Game to do. Oh, superliminal. Yeah, it's a cool game. Kind of similar to Stanley Parable. Right. I'm gonna meet my browser again. And let's continue.
Aha! Fascinating. What do you think this game is about, Stanley?
This is Firewatch.
What's our backstory?
I've not
What
played
is
this,
our
but I know what it is.
motivation? Well, it seems obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose.
Yes.
Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
Oh.
And it seems there's even more. Come, let's venture outward and see what else is out there.
I need to play this game at some point. It seems like a really good game. Firewatch. Oh. Back the other way. Down the stairs we go.
Oh no. No, it can't be.
What? Can't be what?
It is. It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call.
But
You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing. Wonderful.
Rocket League?
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
what if I like run into a goal?
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see.
Is this a
There are
hole?
lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together? Yes, I think surely we must. Okay,
Sports ball.
Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
It's a bit big. Oh, we go faster now. So speedy.
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun?
I'm doing
Is
it.
better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought. And I realize I'm not a sportsologist, but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
2 balls.
Yes. Oh, goodness, that really does feel amazing.
great.
doesn't it? Stanley, I'm like a child in a confectionery shop. I simply have to have more. I'm insatiable. More balls!
Way too dank.
Are you enjoying this, Stanley? Are you having fun? Is this a real video game? Well, I sure hope you're having a good time, because guess what? It's over. That's right. Your little fun comes to an end.
You took
This
my
is
speed
my
away.
game, and what I say goes. You get to have fun when I let you, Stanley. Besides, you need someone like me to set boundaries for you. Without rules or boundaries, video games are nothing. Yes, that's what I am. I'm structure. I'm your sense of purpose. And since you decided you didn't want to play my game, now I don't want to play with you either. So, goodbye, Stanley. I'm leaving. See how you like it when I'm not around to set the rules. Somehow, I don't think you'll enjoy it as much. But who knows? You're an inventive kid. You'll come up with something. After all, you're the one who knows best. Take care, Stanley.
See you, Nerea, loser. Let's try dropping down the hole. Eee,
Hold on. What are you doing?
doing what I want.
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back. We still have so much.
I think there's no path here. I think this is all just drops. Creepy. Oh, light. I'd hate to be in an office like this. Dead end. Hmm.
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it. He'll understand soon what I was trying to tell him. He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end, to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon. I can wait.
Okay, we're back here.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay, I think I know the next ending to do.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly
Back
well.
to the break room.
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge,
Oh, employee
first,
lounge.
just to admire it. It was okay.
What do you mean it was okay? This is the best room.
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Never.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this, to reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
No.
As Stanley picked up the phone, a white light engulfed him, filling him not just with radiance, but with hope. Hope for a life reunited one... Wait. Oh, goodness. Stanley, did you just unplug the phone? No, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly. I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you... Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner? You're not Stanley. You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able to make correct and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you'd made any more wrong choices, you might have negated it entirely. It's as though you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or did you not grasp the severity of the situation? Well, I won't have that kind of risk on my watch. I'm going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
Choice. It's the best part of being a real person, but if used incorrectly can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process. Most medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Ah, welcome back. You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry. Now that you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please. Now that we know your choices are
barriers
meaningful,
around this.
we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying. Imagine the main character dying senselessly halfway through the story. That story would make no sense at all. We just need to get you home as soon as possible before the narrative contradiction gets any worse. Unfortunately, it seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
Back into the lounge.
Almost there. You'll take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world. Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
The broom closet won't work.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, this is different.
Stepping inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it.
Name the
Surely
most
behind this
expensive
door lay
boss.
all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he
Wait,
knew
what
the
did he say?
passcode. He
Can I
had
read them?
seen it on his boss's computer just
Sewage,
last week. Night
something
Shark
by Cloud Money.
115. Was this
Business
the code
strategy.
to open the door? Would it still work?
After lunch.
There was only one way to find out.
Something blank.
Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown. He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Code? Hello? What's the code?
Stanley spoke the code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Just pick it up my mic. Night Shark 115. No.
I'm sorry, is there a problem?
You don't
You
have the
didn't
microphone.
mishear me, did you? Please
Can't speak.
speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we can't get on with the story. This is a crucial step.
I can't speak. Night Shark 115.
Okay,
in.
fine. You're not going to do it. But you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. The kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. No! Why did you do that? Quickly,
Why not?
hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too late.
Oh.
It's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone, left here like so much garbage? It's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I go back to that? I can't erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever. Reliving its impossibility forever. I couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work? I don't know. What's the answer? What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to. Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground. What, did you think that would be funny? You just had to see? Didn't I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it. That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you? You're a child. Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Oh, we can watch Stanley.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay? Stanley, please. I need
It's
you to
me.
make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right? Stanley, this is important.
The narrator's an asshole on so many endings, but you can't help but feel sorry for him sometimes.
Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept whatever you do. I simply need you to take that step forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
Well, it's many Unities instead of Source Engine. This whole version is in Unity. That's cool.
The story needs it. So, you hear me? Are you there? You're listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice. That's all right. I'll wait for you to decide what's the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Alright. We're getting close to the new content, but I'm going to be out here for a bit to get a drink and stuff. So shall just maybe put a bit of music on. I won't be too long. But yeah, be.